Warm welcome to the DPRK, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The original name of Korea, Joseon, means the land of morning calm. From time immemorial, it has been called the land of golden tapestry for its world-famous mountains and scenic spots. All of you tourists would directly witness, hear and experience real looks of Seongun, Korea, and cherish impressive memories of it.
Lieutenant Colonel Lloyd Mark Boucher confessed that Taylor was an espionage.
This is Pyongyang Metro. Pyongyang Metro is linking central districts of the city. Its lines stretch to all directions, east, west, north, and south, from the center of the city to provide for the convenience of citizens in traffic. The stations of the metro are reminiscent of perfect underground palaces for a variety of their internal structure and beautiful decorations. This is Revolutionary Martyrs Cemetery on Mount Taesong. On Chuseok Peak of Mount Taesong in Pyongyang, there are laid in state revolutionary martyrs who fought heroically for the liberation and independence of the country. The cemetery consists of a gate, commemorative tower gates, sculptural groups ground, education ground, and the district of busts. On the education ground, there stands a monumental stone inscribed with President Kim Il-sung's autographic teaching. There are also a monument stone inscribed with a paean, a bronze sculptural group of mourners, and a pedestal for placing floral tributes inscribed with the medal of Hero of the Republic. On the district of busts, there stand busts of revolutionary martyrs with a red flag for background. At the cemetery, there stands a bust of anti-Japanese heroine Kim Jong-suk in front of a red marble flag. The cemetery was opened in 1975 and rebuilt in 1985. It covers a total area of 300,000 square meters. This is King Gongmin's mausoleum. It is the tomb of the 31st king of the Koryo dynasty and his wife. When the queen died in 1365, King Gongmin designed two tombs, and supervised their construction for 7 years. In the right tomb, he buried the queen and kept the left one empty till he himself was buried after death in 1374. In each tomb, there is a passage and a burial chamber. On the walls and ceilings, there are drawn the sun, 7 stars of the Big Dipper and Orion's belt. 4 guardian gods of the earth are drawn on each wall of the tomb, 12 in all. King Gongmin's mausoleum is preserved in its original state as a precious historic remain of our people. This is Panmunjom. Panmunjom lies on the military demarcation line of the Korean Peninsula. It witnesses the most serious tragedy of the division of the country and the most acute confrontation of war or peace. Panmunjom began to be known widely to the world when the US imperialists bent their knees to the Korean people in the Korean War and signed an armistice agreement. It attracts the attention of the world, and usually visitors to Korea call at Panmunjom. This is the conference room for ceasefire negotiation. In this room, Ceasefire talk took place between the Korean People's Army and the US imperialists during the Korean War. The conference room is 1 kilometer south from the northern border of the demilitarized zone. Now in the room, there are preserved the table and chairs used by the senior and other delegates of the Korean and US sides as they were. The armistice talk took place between July 10, 1951 and July 19, 1953. This is the building for signing the armistice agreement. When the armistice talk reached an agreement on ceasefire and its machinery, the US side proposed holding a ceremony of signing the armistice agreement quietly in a temporary tent out of door. It was because the US imperialists were afraid that future generations might see the place where they signed a surrender document after suffering shameful defeat in the Korean War. This is monumental stone inscribed with an autograph of respected President Kim Il-sung. It was erected to immortalize the historic date of July 7, 1994, the last day of his life, when he put his signature on the last document on national reunification and died at his post. This is Conference Room District. In front of Panmun Pavilion, a building of the DPRK, there stand 7 buildings, which were used as conference rooms of the Military Armistice Commission and the Neutral Nations Supervisory Commission in the past. In the center of the building, there stands a table crosswise, and on the table there are lying microphones along its middle line. Just it is the military demarcation line, a symbol of Korea's division. Between the buildings, a 40 centimeter wide and 7 centimeter high concrete marker is laid in a line with microphones in the building, thereby forming the demarcation line. The military demarcation line is 246 kilometers long in total. This is Koryo Museum. It is Seonggyun-gwan, the supreme learning institution during the Koryo dynasty. It was built in 992, but was burnt in fire during the Patriotic War in 1592. It was rehabilitated in 1602 to its original state. Seonggyun-gwan was an institution which taught feudal Confucianism to children of noblemen to bring them up as state officials. Religious services for celebrated Confucian scholars were also performed here. It consists of 12 main buildings and 6 supplementary buildings. In the area in which stone pagodas and tombstones of the period of Goryeo dynasty were transferred to here from other areas. It exhibits more than 1,000 historical relics and other materials showing the establishment of the Goryeo state and its development. In the front yard, there grow over 1,000-year-old ginkgo and zelkova trees. This is the Tower of the Chucha Idea. It is a monumental edifice which was erected to eulogize the exploits of President Kim Il-sung, the founder of the Chucha Idea. The 170-meter-high tower was designed in our people's unique traditional fashion of stone tower construction. The body of the granite tower is 150 meters high and is capped by a 20-meter-high torch. It comprises a tower, trio group of worker, peasant, and working intellectual, 6 other sculptural groups, 2 pavilions, and 2 large fountains in the midstream of the Taedong River. The back of the tower body is adorned with choice stones sent by political parties and public organizations of various countries of the world. It was set up in April 1982 on the occasion of the 70th birthday of the respected President Kim Il-sung.